What if the most secure financial system ever built had a backdoor? No, not in the code, not in the math. The backdoor was in the room where the code was written. Imagine a man who arrived 7 years too late to build the foundation, but had enough blood money to buy the architects. Jeffrey Epstein knew he couldn't be Satoshi, so he decided to do something far more dangerous. He decided to own the gatekeepers. Tonight, we follow a paper trail that leads from a dark island to the heart of the MIT Media Lab. This is not just a conspiracy theory. This is the structural analysis of a hijacking. In episode 1, we proved the 7 gap. We showed that the timeline of Jeffrey Epstein and the birth of Bitcoin simply do not align. The foundation was poured in 2008. Epstein didn't enter the frame until 2015, but every architect knows a building's integrity depends on more than just the blueprints. It depends on the people who walk the halls. Epstein was a master of the social hack. He understood that while the Bitcoin protocol is decentralized, the people maintaining it are not. They have bills to pay, they have research to fund, and they have egos that can be stroked. While the world was busy looking for Satoshi's identity, Epstein was looking for Satoshi's successors. He wasn't hunting for a ghost. He was hunting for the keys to the heart of the system. Enter the MIT Media Lab, specifically a project called the Digital Currency Initiative, or DCI. This wasn't just another tech lab. This was the sanctuary, where the core development of Bitcoin was being shielded from corporate interests. Or so we were told. Internal logs and leaked emails from 2015 tell a disturbing story. Joy Ito, the director of the lab, was in deep with Epstein. Even after Epstein was a convicted predator, even after he was a social pariah, the money kept flowing. But it was marked. It was labeled anonymous. Why hide it? Because Epstein's money was a biohazard. It was a virus designed to infect the very people who held the future of the blockchain in their hands. By funding the DCI, by paying the salaries of the core developers, Epstein wasn't donating to science. He was buying a seat at the table where the rules of the future were being written. He was building a shadow gate. Now, we look at the money trail. In the mid-2000s, a transaction surfaced, a $3 million check linked to Coinbase. At the time, Coinbase was the primary ramp for the entire world to enter the crypto space. If you wanted Bitcoin, you went through them. Think about the scale. In 2015, $3 million could buy a lot of Bitcoin. But Epstein didn't just want the coins. He wanted the infrastructure. He was aggressively investing in the companies that built the on-ramps and off-ramps. Why? Because if you control the exit, you control the room. He used a web of offshore accounts and shell companies to funnel wealth into the early crypto ecosystem. He was building a parallel system, a predator's Bitcoin, a version of the future where anonymity didn't protect the citizen. It protected the criminal. This was his revenge for missing the birth. If he couldn't be the creator, he would be the landlord. The tragedy of the Epstein files isn't just the money, it's the silence he purchased. Researchers, brilliant minds, and visionaries, they all saw the shadow, and they all took the check. This is the structural failure of the Epstein files. It proves that decentralization is only as strong as the moral foundation of the humans who build it. Epstein didn't need to hack the SHA-256 algorithm. He didn't need to find Satoshi's private keys. He just needed to find the price of the people who maintained the servers. The 7 gap was his motivation. Because he was excluded from the genesis, he became obsessed with the hijacking. He wanted to graft his corrupt network onto the world's most honest ledger. Bitcoin survived Jeffrey Epstein. The code is still there. The blocks are still being mined. But did it survive the people who opened the door for him? In our next episode, we go even deeper. We look at the billionaire enablers, the men who provided the bridge between the island and the blockchain. You might recognize their names. Stop looking at the light. Start looking at the shadows.